Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's the first night of Ramadan and Alhamdulillah I just returned home from al-Masjid al-Nabawi al-Sharif from the Taraweeh prayers, and I must say that it's the fourth time now in the 3.5 years that I've been in this blessed city that my slippers have been stolen. Can you believe it? Yeah, it's always been slippers, it's never been my trainers, which is a bit better in terms of cost, but these are still, very nice, them big white comfy ones, and unfortunately I had to end up, it's one of the moments where you left I always remember where I leave my slippers, and usually I leave it in another place which is not on the racks, just somewhere on the side behind in this corner. Like one or two guys leave their shoes there. And what happened is, I went for my lesson to see my sheikh, and I thought, let me just leave it here. There's no, as in, it doesn't really matter. So as soon as you go there and you don't see them, then it's the panic kicks in. Obviously, it's the fourth time, as I say, so I'm well acquainted in terms of what to do. But the worst thing was that you have to walk to the back of the haram. So from the front of the haram, the outside bit, you walk all the way to the back. Some few people give you a few looks. They're probably thinking I'm so pious, mashallah. And then the worst thing is that I had to go to that one supermarket, and the guy literally he goes to the back, takes out that little stool thing, that ladder stool type of thing, picks out this massive box, he throws me the slipper, and it's bright blue slippers, and it says cool on there. So it's not, it wasn't the best of situation. And then after that, I didn't take my car, I took a taxi. So after that I had to exchange some money, so I was literally rolling in the area with those disgusting slippers, and thus I was definitely getting looks then. But who cares, right? That's the beauty of this place. Nobody knows you, and you just get on with it. But yeah, that's the drama for today. In terms of this video, I was thinking that I've been thinking about how I'm going to make this the most productive Ramadan for myself. Okay, and then I thought, why not share these 5 strategies or tips or advices that I've given myself, or I'm giving myself. Why don't I share them with you as well? So I've been thinking about them a lot for the last few hours, even in the Taraweeh prayers. You know how Shaitan, he comes and... I'm just joking. But no, I have given it quite a bit of thought. The 5 key areas is around, number 1, setting a schedule and the importance of it. Number 2 is how do we build ourselves up, because ultimately Ramadan is about consistency. So how do we build ourselves up and not burn out? Number 3 is food, water and sleep. Number 4 is social media and these stupid devices. Number 5 is knowing the importance, or knowing what is important in this month, which is the Holy Quran. Sometimes people, they stray. So this is, advice to myself first and foremost. And I'll put timestamps on this video, so just feel free to go to the bits that you find relevant. بإذن الواحد الأحد. I hope you find this beneficial and useful. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and leave your comments down below as well in terms of what you found useful, what you'd advise, or what you prefer to do, or how you tackle certain matters. And let's get straight into it. Also, let me know in the comments what other videos you'd like to see from me. I'm thinking of making a Ramadan series, like Ramadan 2025, new video every day. I don't think it's not going to be possible with my schedule, but I will try to shoot as many videos that will benefit you guys as possible. Yeah, I had the full Taraweeh to think about this. So, as I say, yeah, the other thing I want to say is that I'll make timestamps for this video. So there's 5 points I'm going to make, but if whatever you you think is relevant for you or might be beneficial for you, then just forward yourself to that part, inshallah. The first item to consider is in terms of consistency and not tiring yourself out. So I'm telling myself, I don't want to tire myself out. I know myself inside out. I know what I'm capable of. I know what's happened previously. I remember last year, in all honesty, wallah, around the 25th, 26th night onwards, I was quite not agitated, but it was like things got a bit too much for me, and I felt like the 21st, 22nd, 23rd night, those nights I did well, but then, you know, I tired myself out, wore myself out, whatever. So look, this is the month of Ramadan, it's the month of the Quran, we have to make the most of it, but at the same time we have to be very realistic. It's very important to be realistic and not to compare yourself with others as well. When I say realistic, I mean that we all know ourselves. We all have our own routine. We know exactly what responsibilities we have. Some of us may be married with kids. Some of us, single. All these small things, it plays a part, and that's why it's impossible for you to compare. The only person you can compare yourself to is yourself yesterday. So the only person you can compare yourself to is yourself yesterday. And this is the advice that I've given myself this year, which is that, do you know what, instead of starting on a mad vibe and a mad hype, from day one, what I'd rather do is I'd rather build myself over the 30 days with the mindset that as long as I've done a bit more and I've been better than yesterday, or even if I'm on par with yesterday, it's still a win, okay? Because then the day after, I'll improve myself from the day before. So this is the way I'm taking it, a slightly unorthodox approach. Some people, they just go extreme from day one, and most of these people, they don't last too long, unless they started building themselves up in the previous month of Shawwal. But if you're like me, and you've just, this month has just come in your face, then it's important we build ourselves up. And it's nothing to feel bad about. Nobody needs to make you feel bad. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need to worry what other people are doing. If people are worrying about you, then they can worry about you, because these type of people, they got nothing better to do. For them to be, looking left and right all the time, these type of people are actually the worst type of people you can be around, and you need to cut them off as soon as possible. Those that, they're nitpicking, and instead of focusing on themselves, they have time to talk about others, trying to bring others down. Worst type of people, honestly, and you need to cut them off without any explanation whatsoever, whether it's the month of Ramadan or not. Okay, obviously when it comes to family, it's a bit different. You have to be a bit more diplomatic, like Donald Trump, if you think he's diplomatic. You need to cut these people out as soon as possible. If not, then your whole life you'll be dragged down by these type of people. So anyways, the first point here for me is that I'm going to get better than yesterday. So no extreme behavior at the start. And all that means is that by the time I do get to the last 10 nights, I'll be in such a zone or such a vibe that inshallah I can end the month strong as well with this mindset. It's all about mindset. Life and success is all about mindset. So that's the first point. Let me know in the comments what you think of that one. I've never heard that one before. I feel like I've come out with this one. As in, obviously, comparing yourself to yourself, that's known. But I'm saying using it for Ramadan. Let me know your thoughts. Number 2, very, very, very important. If you want to have a successful Ramadan, then you must write your schedule down from the night before. Many people, they'll say when Ramadan comes, or now that Ramadan is here, that I'm going to do more ibadah. I'm going to do more. That's very vague. What does that mean? What do you mean by doing more? It doesn't make sense. You have to be very specific with exactly what you mean by more. And the only way you can do more is by having a routine and setting yourself a schedule from the night before. So another thing that I'm going to be doing, and I'll be doing that straight after this video, is for tomorrow, I'll know exactly what I'm doing at what time. So really and truly, I'll have some overall goals for Ramadan, and they'll all be written down. People, they don't realize the importance of writing down your goals. There's a difference keeping everything in your head and trying to manage things in your head and physically writing it down. Apparently, there were some studies that were undertaken whereby you are 87% more likely to achieve your goals if they're written down, because you have a lot of clutter in your mind, and trying to keep on top of everything in your mind doesn't work. You write it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down overall goals for the month. So for example, again, keep it relevant to yourself. You don't look left, you don't look right, you don't copy what this person is doing, what she's doing. You think for yourself, you think, okay, this is my schedule. So for me, for example, my first 20 days I'll have university. So that changes a lot of the schedule, right? So I know, okay, in the first 20 days, and maybe I need to do this, but in the last 10 nights I can do this. General goals, finish the Quran once at a minimum, or at least once. This should be a goal or target for everyone, each and every individual. And other goals, I might learn this surah, I might record a series on Tajweed, for example. It's all bespoke, it's all personal to yourself. I'll watch the seerah. It might be an overall goal, like I'll be more nice to people. Even though I'm hungry all the time. No, even though when I'm hungry, I'm angry, therefore hungry. So especially once you're fasting. You know what? Last year I had this argument, that happened. This year I'm just going to be better. That's a goal, and it's something to achieve, and it's something achievable as well. So you'll feel a sense of satisfaction. But in order to get to certain goals when it comes to ibadah, when it comes to your worship, and that's what this month is about. It's about worship. There is the whole studying and knowledge, ilm, and that kind of thing. But worship is a key factor during this month. نسأل الله القبول والإخلاص. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us, grant us sincerity. We have the extra ibadah that we need to do, and we can't just turn around and say I'm going to do more. This applies for anything in life as well, which is that if you want to achieve anything meaningful in life, you must have a schedule, you must have a routine. As I was saying, anything worth achieving in life needs to have routine. So for example, or scheduled. For example, when it comes to work, I've noticed, I wake up in the morning with the night before, I say I'm going to smash out work tomorrow. I'm going to smash it out. But the day goes by and nothing really gets done, because I've just been literally jumping from one task to the other. Because why? There's no schedule. I haven't time blocked anything. I haven't said, okay, half an hour I'll do this, 1 hour, 2 hours of deep work, solid focus, get this project done, 1 hour of emails, whatever it may be. But when I say I'm going to smash it out, honestly, nothing gets smashed out, because I'm literally sometimes I'm doing 2 tasks at the same time. My to-do list is massive. So I'll be doing this thing, then I get distracted. In 1 second, I'll be doing something else. and then I look at my to-do list and I'll jump onto something else. And then someone will call me and I accept the call, and then someone emails me and I say, okay, this becomes more important randomly just because the emails come in. So the same way when it comes to Ramadan, you can't just say, I'm going to do more ibadah, because anything that comes to you, and most people live their whole life with no schedule and no routine. Anything that comes to them, they happily accept it. Anyone that calls them, they pick the call up, and the plan was this way. Someone calls you and then they end up going there, and the whole day has changed. Email comes up. Anything and anyone distracts them like this. If you have no focus and no discipline and no schedule, then gone literally within seconds. And we'll come to the mobile phone and social media in a second. But the point here is that if you set a schedule, so for example, do you know what, I'm going to pray 2 rak'ah tahajjud. Usually I don't pray anything, so I'm going to pray 2 rak'ah. And for me, I'm very, very big on being real with yourself and being open with yourself and being honest with yourself, which is that what you can do, you just be real. You, as I say, we're not here to compare. Okay, nobody's going to look down on you if you only read 2 rak'ah tahajjud. It's actually a massive win. Or you might not have been praying fajr throughout the rest of the year. So you say, okay, I'm definitely going to pray fajr in the mosque for men, and I'm definitely going to pray at home for women. So it's just these small things. I can't give you them. I can't give you your schedule or routine. But what I'm saying is, just as an example, you might turn around and say, and after Fajr, I'm going to recite 1 juz, or half a juz, or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it may be. But at least it's not that you've woken up, you're having a munch, and then you make wudu, you pray your Salatul Fajr, and then you just sit there and you don't know what to do now. And anyone, someone's just sat there and you start talking to someone all over the place. Or you pick your phone up and you start scrolling because you didn't have a schedule. You didn't say that this is what I'm going to be doing at this time. It's quite straightforward when you think about it. It's like straightforward advice, which is set a schedule, know exactly what you're doing at what time in your routine. But most people, they don't do it. And this is why nothing gets done and nothing gets achieved. And what will happen is the whole month will go by and you'll have just spent your whole time scrolling. Unfortunately, lil asaf, with apologies. The other thing is, you might turn around and say, okay, I got school, work, university, come home, have a nap. Then between Asr and Maghrib, this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is my time to, really recite more from the Holy Quran. So that's the time that's going to push me through to finish the Khatma. Between Maghrib and Isha, I need to be open and realistic. That's my socializing time because I'm not hungry anymore. I've had my big munch, my big iftar. So I'm going to sit and socialize with my family. Nothing wrong with that, no problem. And then, you pray your Taraweeh, Salatul Isha, Taraweeh, and you say, I'm going to watch the series by this scholar, by this sheikh, on the seerah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mathalan, as an example. But again, we come back to the flip side, which is if you don't, then you'll go onto YouTube and whatever video pops up in your face, whatever the algorithm shows to you in your face, you'll watch it. You'll watch 3 minutes. You'll go to the next video, 5 minutes. Here, there. And your whole night will go by taking, nothing productive was achieved. As in, you didn't really achieve anything, right? You just, okay, yes, I'm watching Islamic videos. Doesn't mean anything, okay? You're just wasting your time, to be honest. If you have a structure, you say, I'm going to learn the seerah, or I'm going to study tafsir of Surah Yusuf, mathalan, then I will, as soon as I go onto YouTube, I'll go into Surah Yusuf and I'll go to the channel or whatever it may be. But at least, by the end of the month or by the end of the 5 days, however many videos, you've achieved something. And then after that, a tiny bit of scrolling is fine. But the bottom line is the achievement or the satisfaction will be felt. Because look, let's not lie to ourselves. You and I will definitely feel regret on the night of Eid. This happens to me every year, and I know it happens to many people. Just one second. Many people, if not every single individual, you'll always have regret that I didn't do enough. But at least if you had a to-do list or goals, and you started, at the end of the month, the night of Eid, instead of being regretful, you're saying, oh, you know what? I wrote these goals down at the start of the month, and I've actually achieved like 7 out of 10. Or you stuck to your routine and your schedule, and you ticked, you got a lot of things done. Then this is satisfaction, wallahi, and this is achievement, and this is actually the definition of success, a successful Ramadan. Because it's not exactly about how much you do, it's how consistently you do it. Everything I've mentioned, right? I've spoken about reciting from the Quran, studying tafsir, seerah, whatever it may be, but the bottom line is you are consistent, and that's true satisfaction, true achievements. And the beauty is that a successful Ramadan, but also those habits and that scheduling from the night before, wallahi, it'll make you, you'll achieve great success in life. Anyone can do it. Okay, anyone can achieve in anything, whether it's wealth, financial success, studying, other achievements. Money is something that everyone, it's a natural urge, and it's good to be financially successful. And I'm a strong believer of, Muslims being high achievers, high performers. And I'll tell you one thing, this scheduling the day from the night before is a game changer. It'll automatically take you in the top 10% of people in the world when it comes to financial success, honestly. So what we need to do is we need to bring that into our life, into our Ramadan, and that way we'll get a lot more done. So for example, me, I've got so many things I need to do. I've got all these books here. I need to strengthen on my Arabic language in terms of speaking and reading. Okay, I need to memorize, so much to memorize. Shatibiya, Addil Ay. I want to revise Jazariya, Samanudiya, all these poems that I've memorized. I need to revise them as well. I need to become stronger in my in my lessons, in my studies, tafsir, Arabic grammar, qira'at. I've got exams this month. I've got business to take care of. I will slow down this month because I want to focus a lot more on the Holy Quran and bettering myself as an individual, because business is business, money is money comes and goes, and we're always looking for more. So at some point you do have to just sit back and say, do you know what, this month I'm going to calm down a little. Although I'm the boss, and I've got 4 or 5 employees, so it's important for me to stay on top of things. So again, I'll assign 2 to 3 hours a day, solid work, solid focus, but all that needs to be scheduled in. I can't just wake up and say, I need to work, I need to memorize, I need to think. And it might be a case where not every day I memorize, or not every day I work. Or what days do I revise? And it all has to be scheduled in, and it's absolutely amazing when you start seeing the power of scheduling, which is that something that seemed like a long distance away, meaning that it was going to be so difficult to achieve, you might just have something in 2 days a week, but at the end of the month it'll be something will have been achieved, inshallah. So Allah accept from us, and I hope that one was useful. The next point we come to is eating. Ramadan is the month of fasting, not feasting. And Ramadan is not about feasting, it's about fasting. So make sure you control yourself when it comes to the samosas at iftar time. It's about discipline. Ramadan is about discipline. It's not about eating as much as you can for iftar or eating double. Just think about what I'm saying. I'm saying Ramadan is about discipline. It's not what people do, which is eat double at iftar time. That's like completely against any any benefit to yourself. There's no discipline. You can't even hold yourself. That one samosa is there staring at you, and you can't even hold yourself back in the month of Ramadan. You just grab it and you yam it. That's no good. The goal here is to nourish your body and not punish it. Okay, so you need to ensure that you're drinking lots of water. They say 8 cups of water a day, 8 glasses of water a day but here you'll only have from iftar to suhoor. So give yourself, as in that's your target, but I'm just saying 8 is what is recommended. Sleep, good sleep is very important. If you're all night eating from iftar to suhoor, which there's been many years that I've done that a lot of times, then you'll sleep after Fajr, and then you'll just sleep and you'll be sluggish for the whole day. And even that sleep, because you might have work or something, so you'll only sleep for 4 hours or something. And the whole day you'll be sluggish and you'll be feeling malnourished in a way. You'll have headaches, whatever it may be. So it's very important when it comes to hydration, eating, meaning don't overeat, and eat good foods. Yani, especially when it comes to suhoor, for example, they say that you have to have, oats. What do they call it? They call it the slow digesting foods or the slow processing foods. Things like oats. We have oats, nuts, dates, and those kind of foods that are slow burning. So over the day, throughout the course of the day, you still have the energy to then do the ibadah, which is what we've been discussing, and your work and whatever other responsibilities you may have. But ultimately, you need to maintain good energy levels and ensure you are well hydrated and well rested as well. Another point to make is that when it comes to fasting, this is something that I came across. Not all cravings are hunger. So what happens apparently, this don't quote me on this, but this is I read an article. When it comes to fasting, because you're fasting, so your brain, you're used to eating every single day, but your brain sort of changes its focus, and therefore you end up having more cravings. But all I'm trying to say here is that the craving does not necessarily mean hunger. And what you have to do is you have to wait 10 minutes. You have to be patient, disciplined for 10 minutes. And if you're then still feeling that craving or whatever it may be, then it might be hunger. And then you go for it. But usually it'll pass and it's just a craving, right? So that's another key point. We've mentioned sleeping, which is you need to sleep for at least minimum 6 to 7 hours a day. That'll be something good for you. And just make sure that Ramadan is the month of discipline. So just make sure that your desires and the rest of it, it's a bigger picture here. We're not just looking at eating and controlling your food. We're looking at the bigger picture, which is how much does the food have control over you? These are things you need to start to realize. For me, actually, I eat so much. I eat here, I eat there, I eat at home. Good food, alhamdulillah, I can't complain, and I really enjoy food. But for me, it's like I'm actually happy that this is a bit of a detox for me. And I think I need it. And my energy levels are actually way higher in the mornings. So I don't have no breakfast. All I have is loads of water and a coffee. And wallahi, them first 3-4 hours, that's where my deep work happens. That's where everything gets done. Those first 3-4 hours, they are absolutely amazing, incredibly productive. I'm untouchable, I'm unbeatable when it comes to that situation. Those 3-4 hours. Wallahi, I probably achieve more in those 3-4 hours than what people will achieve for 2-3 days. The reason being is because I don't have a full stomach. Okay, I haven't eaten. So food does make you sluggish, and we all know after iftar, you have so many different beautiful dishes staring at you, and yes, you do deserve it, and we all deserve it, but there just has to be that aspect of discipline and food. So just, next time that samosa is looking at you, just remember that Umar said, discipline and food. I need to sort myself out. And again, you're just doing yourself benefit. Why? Because then your better mind or less sluggishness leads to better ibadah, better worship, better prayers. You're a bit more relaxed in Taraweeh, and if anything, eat after Taraweeh. But ultimately, food, water, and sleep all go hand in hand. The fourth point I want to make here is around social media and the phone. I'll be quite clear with you. If you don't control your devices, your phone, laptop, and your time spent on social media, scrolling, then forget just Ramadan will fly by like this. Your whole life is going to fly by. With apologies or without apologies, I don't really care, because most of you should know this by now. Technically, I shouldn't even be saying it, but it just seems like the stats are just showing that more and more people are spending more hours scrolling on their stupid phones. So, and it's up to you. It's up to you. If you spend your time scrolling, Netflix, wasting your life, wasting your day, then you lose barakah in your time. Okay, so you will lose barakah in your time. And therefore your Ramadan will go by like this without having achieved anything meaningful, anything worthwhile. And this comes back to the other point, which is schedule your day in advance. Because scheduling your day in advance means that you don't really have time to just pick up your phone and start doing anything. But you not only end up wasting your Ramadan 2025, but your whole life will go by. And you wouldn't have made anything of yourself. So this is whether you're in your teens, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, whether you're 20 and in your 20s, wallahi, even if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it's shocking, but everyone is afflicted. I don't care whether you're 20 or you're 70, you're afflicted. If you don't control yourself, then lil asaf, your Ramadan will go by. Okay, so what you need to do is you really need to control your phone. Ideally, you want to get rid of your phone. You want to go back to them brick phones. Okay, as in your best bet is have no phone, but I like to be realistic. So then you go to the brick phone where you play Snake, that Nokia. It just reminds me of a picture that I saw where there was a cover on top of the phone, on the Nokia, them brick phones. There was a cover on it, and then someone wrote, those phones were so solid, why did it need a cover? And then someone commented saying, to protect the floor. So anyways, yeah, you get one of them phones, you play Snake, whatever, but you'll get bored after a while. But at least you're not being bombarded with WhatsApp, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, internet. I need to check this. The most random thing comes to your mind. You want to start checking. Little flash, it just flashes. The phone flashes and you're jumping around for it. You have to see who it is or what it is. Phone is in your pocket, vibration. You have to take it out. You got no control. The phone controls you. You are a prisoner of your phone, of your devices. And if you don't change it, if you can't change these habits in the month of Ramadan, then when are you going to change them? New Year's is gone. New Year's you probably were flopped as well. So this is the time to really sort out your time on your phone. Use some apps. There's some apps out there, they control the time on your phone. There's other apps that make all your apps the same color on your phone, on your screen, and apparently mentally that helps you. Ultimately, you need to be spending time not scrolling your phone, but flicking through the pages of the Holy Quran. This is the ultimate aim, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us discipline, because ultimately it comes down to discipline. You want to sit on your phone or you want to recite the Holy Quran, discipline takes you to recite the Holy Quran. So, بإذن الواحد الأحد, بإذن الله, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. And this is advice to myself first and foremost, honestly. Like, I've got my phone here, my stupid phone, that I've been trying to get rid of for like 7 years. But it's shaitan, so it's just stuck with me. I do need it for work and, that kind of thing. So we be a bit more realistic, but ultimately, we should make sure we're spending less time with our phone and therefore more time with the Quran and doing beneficial stuff. Honestly speaking, nothing, you're not going to miss anything. If anything, you're protecting yourself from absolute garbage and rubbish and polluting and diluting your mind first thing when you wake up and last thing when you go to sleep and throughout the rest of your day. You log into Instagram or TikTok and you see absolute rubbish, or you see someone that you don't really like. You have a bit of hate for and envy and jealousy, and you see them pop up first thing in the morning, and your whole day, your whole mood is messed, right? Unfortunately. Same thing, before you go to bed, instead of leaving your phone somewhere else, I leave my phone in the car outside the house. Obviously, I'm in Saudi Arabia, so it's not going to be stolen. I don't recommend you do this in the UK because the stealing there and the crime rates there is absolutely shocking and ridiculous, and in the US as well, probably. But I leave my phone in the car quite a lot, and that's, I know when the phone is here and I'm doing work, I'm not getting much done. When the phone is in the car, I can't be asked to go get it, I'll get a lot done. خلاص يكفي, يعني simple, straightforward, nothing too difficult to understand when it comes to what the phone is doing to you and how it's destroying you. Another example would be before you go to sleep, you have the phone with you in bed. How are you going to get to sleep? You're going to have a messed up sleep. So, as I say, lil asaf, with apologies, I know I might be, I'm just being a bit straight here, but if you haven't made changes, so if you don't come out of Ramadan having made some serious changes, positive changes, whether it's with your phone, whether it's spiritually, whether you've learned some more knowledge, whether it's physically when we're looking at your diet, your food, then you know that you've truly fasted in the right way and your Ramadan was a success. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept. We move on to the final point, which is around the fact that شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداع إذا دعاني فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون. I recited a little more because it is the month of the Quran. That's exactly what I recited. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. We all know the month of Ramadan is not actually the month of fasting. It's the month of the Quran primarily. The Holy Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan. All the other main books, so we have the Injil, Zabur, Torah. So Injil to Isa alayhi salam, Zabur to وَآتَيْنَا دَاوُدَ زَبُورًا Dawood alayhi salam, Torah to Musa alayhi salam, and the Suhuf, the scrolls, to Ibrahim alayhi salam, and the Quran to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now, all of these books were revealed in the month of Ramadan, FYI. So what we're trying to say here is that the month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. Why is anything connected to the Quran is special? Why is Angel Jibreel the most beloved, or the most beloved angel? Because he's the one that brought down the Quran. Why is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the most beloved? Because the Quran was revealed unto him. Why is the month of Ramadan the best month from the year? Because the Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan. Why is Laylatul Qadr the best night in the year? Because it's the night the Quran was sent down. So what we're trying to say here is that Ramadan is the month of the Holy Quran, so therefore I need to spend more time with the Quran. And when we say more time, primarily I mean Tilaawah, the recitation. Tilaawah, recitation of the Holy Quran in this month is the most important. And as I mentioned earlier, this month is a lot about obedience and actions, good actions. Okay, it's not exactly about studying ilm and all this other kind of thing. It's more about your actions and your nafil prayers and your recitation of the Holy Quran. So primarily, I need to remind myself that Tilaawah, my recitation of the Holy Quran, is the most important. Sometimes people, they turn around and they get excited and they say, I'm going to read the English translation this month. That's, so they're reading the English translation, but they're not actually reciting from the Holy Quran. Yeah, yani, do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying, yes, they're reading the English, which is slower, and they're trying to understand, which is fine. I'm not ruling that out. That is part of tafsir and tadabbur. Tadabbur meaning reflection. But what I'm saying is just the recitation is the key aspect that needs to be focused on. And keep in mind that tadabbur, reflection, is very important. And you can do that even while it's just reading the Arabic, even if you don't know the Arabic language. Okay? So I'm not saying don't do these things, tafsir, tadabbur, me memorizing mutun, studying for my exams. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying the primary, the highest thing is the recitation of the Holy Quran, really connecting with the Holy Quran. Nas'alullah al-qubula wal-ikhlas. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't feel the sweetness of Iman straight away. Okay, these things take time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you. And after 2-3 days, He will bless you. Okay, but you need to be consistent. The first day, the second day, you might not feel the sweetness of your actions, but wallahi, be consistent, realistic, set the schedule for yourself. Just do better than you were yesterday. Eat well, sleep well, hydrate well. Stay away from social media. And wallahi, inshallah, bi'idhnil wahid al-ahad, this is going to be the best Ramadan for all of us, for you and I. And pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts from me, and I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts from you. And to be honest, it's now or never. If we don't make this Ramadan the best yet, when are we going to, what year? How old are you going to be? I'm telling myself this. How old am I going to be when I have that one actually good, well-performed Ramadan? Last Ramadan, I wasn't that good, to be honest. I weren't on point. I was off point, to be quite open. I remember 29th night, astaghfirullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me, but I didn't pray my tahajjud, and I remember I felt so bad because I was like, this is the last night, and then I felt so bad that I missed it. I was just, I wasn't doing anything productive, put it that way, and I didn't have any responsibilities. I was just chilling, relaxing. And I remember I said, oh Allah, just give me one more night. I'll pray tahajjud tomorrow night. And nope, Eid was announced, and that's the regret that I carried on. But the bottom line is, when are we going to have that one Ramadan which is actually decent, we gain some sort of satisfaction? And the only way we can gain that satisfaction is writing our goals down and smashing them, insha'Allah ta'ala. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I hope you found this video beneficial. I hope you found it useful. If you did find it useful, then share with others, because they'll also benefit. I'll speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.